Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Monday, the 18th of September, 2023. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about, so let's get going. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.7% today, so 7,230 points ahead of a few major data points internationally for the week ahead, including a range of interest rate decisions. All sectors fell over the day, with gold holding solid through the morning before falling in afternoon trading. Gold producer Red 5 was up 20.5% following an announcement from Silver Lake Resources that it had acquired 383 million shares worth 11% of Red 5. Silver Lake was actually the worst performing major over the day, down 8.3%. Best on the bourse was Paladin Energy, up 4.2%, continuing a multi-month long rally on the back of surging uranium prices. Metals and mining and utilities declined by the smallest amount. The hardest hit sector was information technology, which followed global tech falls. Software business WiseTech Global fell 2.5%. On to story number 2, and challenger brands are taking over more of the telecommunications sector. A new note from analysts at Wilsons show there is solid quarter-on-quarter growth for the challenger brands from 14.6% to 15.1%. Now, the top 4 players still hold 85% market share as at the end of June. That includes Telstra and TPG, Optus and Vocus. But challenger brands like Aussie Broadband and Superloop really kind of snapping at their heels now. Much of this is due to the NBN, and they're especially gaining on fibre to the premise connections, as the majors are typically customers on lower speed tier plans and households are shopping around when they want to upgrade. This gives challenger brands an opportunity to offer the same or similar services, but at a price that undercuts the major operators. Superloop also had a big gain over the last quarter due to its acquisition of MyRepublic. Story number 3, replacing the nation's coal-fired power stations with modular nuclear reactions wouldn't be cheap. In fact, Australians would be slugged with a bill of hundreds of billions of dollars, according to Climate Change Minister Chris Bowen, who says that it's not a viable option. In order to properly replace coal-powered stations, there would need to be 70 small modular nuclear reactors. Analysis from the Climate Change Department estimates the cost is $387 billion, but that assumes there is no private industry involvement. Nuclear power is becoming a major source of debate between the government and the opposition. Story number 4, the federal government is gearing up to axe or delay billions of dollars worth of infrastructure projects following a major blowout in costs. Around 700 projects planned for the next decade have surged in price to the tune of $33 billion, according to an independent audit. This cost will apparently continue to rise because it's being driven by inflation in material costs and the lack of labour. It's a more than 40% jump in the funds set aside by the federal budget for the Infrastructure Investment Program, according to the Financial Review, which says the construction sector is also under pressure due to massive infrastructure pipelines from the states. The final report on this infrastructure is yet to be released, as the states and territories are going to be consulted so they can figure out maybe how they can reorganise projects, and it's not clear at this stage which projects might actually be cancelled. Finally, story number 5, one from the US, where the upcoming Instacart IPO, expected later this week, is targeting a $10 billion valuation, with shares at $28 to $30 each when it hits the NASDAQ. Now, this is interesting because this is a US grocery delivery business. 2 years ago, it was valued at $39 billion. This has the Wall Street Journal reporting that many investors who together poured $1 billion into its last 3 funding rounds will still be underwater, with some holding stakes worth 40% less than they bought them for. Of course, these are unrealized losses at the moment. I think everyone will be keeping a bit of an eye on this one. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 18th of September, 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X and Facebook. Join us tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.